Did you put the dream of buying a house on hold this year because of the rising home prices, the rising interest rates, and the recession forecasts in the news? Well, it's completely understandable that it would make you reconsider your plans, but there are still plenty of reasons why now is still a good time to buy a house. Buying a house involves many, many more factors than just the price and the interest rate and timing the market. If you don't buy a home and you don't have any friends or relatives that are willing to let you live with them for free, you're going to have to pay for housing one way or the other. You're going to be paying a mortgage. It just won't be your mortgage. It'll be your landlord's. And landlords generally raise rents most years, even if it's just a little bit. Interest rates have increased, but they are still at historical lows. Currently, they are at 5.3%, and they were at 6.8% in May of 2008 and 5.23% in June 2003. In fact, from May 1971 to June 2003, rates had always been higher than 5.25%. We've just had a stretch of time with really, really low rates, and it's kind of hard to accept that these low rates were outside of what was normal. And now that they're heading back into a normal range, it's hard to accept. Now, can you imagine what it was like in October of 1981 when rates for a 30-year fixed mortgage were, wait for it, 18.44%. Can you even imagine? There are some credit cards that aren't 18.44%. Now, if you plan to stay in the same geographic location for at least the next 5 years, then it probably makes sense to buy. Rental prices are at an all-time high in many markets across the country. It's just not high in California anymore. It's been high everywhere from what I hear. Buying a home may make more financial sense in the long term. In the top 100 metro markets, median price for a one-bedroom rental was $1,422 in June, and it's actually down a little bit from May when we had higher gains during the pandemic. This is according to the online rental brokerage Zumper. Dan Yale from The Streets wrote on July 6th, to be sure, the year-over-year increase totaled about 11% in June. Two-bedroom rentals fell 2.9% to $1,708 in June from May, when they were up 9% from the year earlier. Now, something to think about is that moving is expensive. Even if you stay local and move just a few miles away, you can expect that the cost of a move, when you're having to pay for movers and a truck and everything, it's going to cost you about $2,000. If, at least in my area, if you had to move every year because your rent increased, that would add up to a lot of money. Now, buying a home, on the other hand, is an opportunity to build equity, pay down a mortgage, allow home values to increase, and get some tax benefits as well. Now, there is no right answer for every single person. Buying a home is a very individual decision, and there are lots of pros and there are lots of cons to consider. It's important to remember there are more factors at play here than just the home price, the interest rate, and the current market conditions. If you're ready to put down roots in your community and you plan on staying there for 5 or 10 years or perhaps even longer, your decision and your weighing of the pros and cons is going to be very different from someone who's only planning to stay in the area for 5 years or less. Now, if you're waiting for the home prices to drop before you buy, make sure you do some calculations and see just how much your monthly payment will change if prices were to drop, say 10% or 20% and so on. How much of a difference will it make for you in your bottom line, in your payment every month, and how much would it need to drop for it to be worth waiting? Really, what is your break-even point? If you're paying rent during that time while you're waiting for prices to drop, you got to calculate how much you've spent on rent versus what you could have been spending on your mortgage. And if you're waiting for interest rates to drop back to where they were, keep in mind that mortgage rates have been higher than they are right now for at least 32 of the past 51 years. Now, I hope you found this video helpful. Now, do me a favor, help me grow my channel by hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. Now, if you need a real estate agent in your area, I'm happy to help you find a great agent in your area. Just give me a call. There's a link in the description with all my contact information. If you liked this video, be sure to watch this one next, and I'll see you in the next video.